Welcome to Manga Experts. Today we are counting our top 10 picks, where people are abducted against their will and forced to play or survive just like Squid Games and Alice in Borderland. The Law of the Yama. Wee is an introverted high school student from a poor family. One day when he is secretly working at a part-time job, he is caught by his mother after the two have a heated dispute. Zui tries to run away from his mother, but he falls down in a rain-flooded sewer hole. When he awakes, he finds himself in a sealed room surrounded by a group of diverse strangers and with a tightened rope around his neck. He is quickly forced to play a dice game with other people around, and only the winner can leave the place. They are told by the self-proclaimed ruler of the underworld, Lord Yama, that they can go back to Earth if they succeed in 100 of games made by Lord Yama. The art and expressions of the characters in this manhwa are very original, and the story is very unique and well executed so far. Beyond Good and Evil. A total of 12 ex-high schoolers receive an invitation from one of their classmates to spend 3 days in their old school building, which is abandoned now. When they arrive in school, everything is not as they expected. Their friend Mikio Yumasaki, who invited them, placed booby traps in the whole building, so if someone tries to run outside they will die. Now they have to take part in all of the experiments designed by Mikio and survive for 3 days until help arrives. This is actually a very well-polished version of Doku Mushi. Abduction School. People start getting abducted and find themselves in an abandoned school building with monsters when they wake up. Out of the 13 people abducted, who will be able to make it out alive? What is the exact reason behind these abductions? It is a good survival horror type manhwa, but chapters are too short for now. Kichikujima. Takahisa and a group of students in a university club head to the remote Kichiku Island in search of ruins, but they're immediately attacked by a large man in a pig mask, and their boat sinks, leaving them stranded. The group quickly discovers that the island is inhabited by bloodthirsty cannibals, but there's more going on at Kichiku Island than meets the eye. It starts off as a survival horror crisis, then switches to black magic war comedy. This manga has a bit of slasher movies and Junji Ito type vibes. This is basically Pigpen but on crack. The only big downside of this manga is that main character is of extreme level simp. Kangoku Jiken. Ayama Ito is a depressed high school student who is a victim of bullying every day. He receives a letter on the last day of school before summer vacation, inviting him to a confinement game where he can name any person who will then be confined for a month. Aside from murder, Ayama is allowed to do anything to the person, with the promise of a money reward at the end. For his target, Ayama picks Aya Kirishima, the ringleader of the pack that bullies him. It has a good plot and some excellent characters. The story has a really good start, but it falls short during the middle, and the end is pretty good. It is interesting for those who like to see character development and revenge, but don't expect too much since the main character takes too long to evolve. Abyss Rage. A blind boy, Shinobu, lives a peaceful life with the support of his kind teacher and girlfriend, Mikoto, training daily to learn the ancient martial art of self-defense known as Mabuchi Tashijutsu. Until one day, when all is stolen from him by a strange visitor who appears at the dojo. This man, defeating both Shinobu and his teacher, steals away Mikoto with him. 3 years pass. In order to take back his girlfriend, Shinobu climbs up from the depths of despair and finds himself at a remote island prison where only the most abominable kind of criminals are housed. There begins a battle royal, a free-for-all fight to the death with the villainous men within. It is a very toned-down version of Baki and Kengan Ashura, but the main problem with this manga is its villain. He has no personality and no depth to him. He just feels like a normal goon rather than a boss. Other than that, it's a solid manga with a disabled MC. Reset Game. When the main character woke up, he was in a white room with no exits and an oncoming red cube. Why? Who put him there? And for what reason? The person who suddenly appeared before them, is he a friend or a foe? He doesn't even believe his own childhood friend. This is actually survival type manga. A lot of people wake up inside cube-like structures. There they have to find clues and pass the tests assigned by the cube, or they will die. It is actually very good, but only the art is a little bit junky. King's Game, Origin. The king's orders are absolute. Fail to obey, and you will be punished. 30 years ago in the remote Unaki village, a black envelope is delivered to a single villager. The command inside threatens to draw the entire population into a terrible tragedy. This is actually pretty good and extremely underrated survival-type manga. And it is very brutal. Its sequels got anime adaptation, but sadly this masterpiece has not gotten the attention that it deserves. It is only recommended for people who want to read something very dark and messed up. Battle in 5 seconds. Akira Shiroyanagi, a high schooler who loved games and Konpedo, was just going about his everyday life before a mysterious woman calling herself Myon appears. After being forcibly kidnapped by a mysterious organization, Akira, as well as a host of other individuals, are told that they have been chosen as test pilots for various special abilities in an experiment the organization has set up. Akira is determined to win the new game he finds himself forced to play and use his newfound powers to destroy the organization. Armed with a unique ability that nobody would expect, Akira relies on his intelligence to overcome enemies and obstacles in a brand new battle of the brains. The MC of this manga is very smart, and the battles are long and involve a lot of planning. It also has an anime adaptation which covers the first 64 chapters of the manga. Tomodachi Game. Katajiri Yuchi believes that friends are more important than money, but he also knows the hardships of not having enough funds. He works hard to save up in order to go on the high school trip because he has promised his 4 best friends that they will all go together. However, after the class's money is all collected, it is stolen. Suspicion falls on 2 of Yuchi's friends, Saragi Shiho and Shibe Makoto. Soon afterward, the 5 of them are kidnapped and wake up in a strange room with a character from a short-lived anime. Apparently, one of them has entered them into a friendship game in order to take care of their massive debt. But who was it, and why did they have such a debt? Could they have stolen the money from class to pay for entry into the game? Do you agree with our picks? Check out our other videos for more suggestions. And don't forget to give us a like before going. Until then, take care and we will see you in our next videos.